Hello everybody, welcome back to Trilogy Time, and it's the first video of the year, and yes, I have shaved. Like, I had a lot on my face, and now it's clean as well, and I actually have shorter hair, so yeah, a lot has happened. But yeah, Trilogy Time, as you can see by the title, we're talking about the Star Wars sequel trilogy, aka not Star Wars, and as you can see my distaste for the sequels, I'm not even standing or did a sketchy intro or anything like that. It's just, I can't stand these films. And it's not like they don't have good moments. They have fun moments that I actually like. They're like, some stuff out of the new canon I actually like. But most stuff, yeah, it doesn't make sense. So, let's just start out by talking about The Force Awakens. And The Force Awakens was basically A New Hope, but crappier, okay? It was purely a nostalgia trip, trying to cash on the success of the previous films. And the First Order started menacing. We got Finn, we got Rey, we got Kylo Ren. So we got these three main characters. As well, we got Poe Dameron and that old guy who I have no idea who that was by when I started watching those films, and I was like, okay. And so, The Force Awakens, it's not that bad. It has some good moments, and I just feel like they could have done something different with the film. It's the one that feels the most Star Wars-y of the three of them, and that's very bad to say that these three films are not great. They have a lot of plot holes and unfinished businesses and just overall pain as a cinematography student myself, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, what's going on in here? But The Force Awakens, pretty decent, not the best, and certainly it's a big meh. Like, honestly, I had a better time watching some other films of Star Wars than rewatching the trilogy. In fact, I didn't want to rewatch the trilogy, unlike what I did for the other previous trilogies. So, the thing is, with The Force Awakens, the story is kind of alright, but it's, again, too similar to the A New Hope. So yeah, that's a big problem. So then, if you can hear some noises, that's the dog walking around. So then we have The Last Jedi, and oh boy, that film has some issues. Like, yeah, it has some big issues. Like, I remember when they announced the casting that Guillermo del Toro was gonna be in the film. I thought he was gonna play old Ezra. Yeah, I got excited for that, but turns out it wasn't. So he was just some random character that ended up dying. Also, while I love super massive ships, the supremacy is just ridiculous, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is too much. Like, the First Order got their base of operations obliterated, and they still could continue. So we got Snoke, we saw Snoke in real life, and I mean in person, and it was a complete disappointment. He just got chopped up in half, like a chump, like an idiot. And I'm like, that's it? This is the big bad we were supposed to be having? Now we're gonna have Kylo Ren as the main villain, and it's just a big disrespect to, I mean, in The Force Awakens they killed Han Solo, and then we have freaking Luke being killed off in The Last Jedi, and it's ridiculous. It's completely idiotic that they killed Luke, and the way they treated his character is just like, he's this broken old man. When Luke didn't give in to temptation, and there it goes again. Luke didn't didn't give in to temptation, to the dark side, he would have never tried to murder his nephew. He would have never tried to murder his nephew, even if he sensed a hint of darkness, because he himself, for a brief moment, he was tempted to go into that. We see it in episode 6. But then he stood his ground and he says, no, I'm not gonna stand with you, Emperor Palpatine. So, yeah, Luke's character just got completely butchered. And while there were some fun moments, like the battle of that salt planet, but it was severely lacking in the awesome factor, like an Empire Strikes Back. And then that kid at the ending, it was just like, okay, what is this part? Are we gonna get some new Jedi coming into the next film? And then here I am editing, and I just realized that I forgot to mention anything about Holdo. And excuse me for the animal noises, it's the middle of the day and I'm editing. And the thing about Holdo is she's just a terrible character. Like, unbelievable. They killed Admiral Akbar to have Admiral Holdo do that stupid maneuver. In fact, if Admiral Akbar had done the whole maneuver of hyperspace ramming, and shut up, chickens! If Akbar had done that, the whole thing, hyperspace ramming, which is completely lore breaking, I wouldn't have been so pissed off, because it's Admiral Akbar. We have known him for years and years. But Holdo, she's just this random hair-colored lady that just completely invalidates everything, and it's just a terrible captain. Instead of reviewing the information with her officers, she's like, no, I'm just not gonna tell you anything. Come on! And then we go to episode 9. The Rise of Skywalker. Somehow Emperor Palpatine returned. My disappointment was off the charts. It's like, you're gonna bring the biggest bad of Star Wars and not properly explain, and without any, like, Palpatine's return was just straight out of left field. It's like, there was no build up, no hints, nothing. Palpatine was just brought back because they knew they failed miserably. They changed like directors like 3 or 4 times, and the story was a mess. Daisy really didn't know herself what had happened to her character's heritage, and it's like, what the hell is going on here? So Rey's character, being a Mary Sue that she is, it's not Daisy's fault. I mean, she's a pretty good actress. And then there's Finn. Yeah, Finn's character just got butchered in The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. Leia died, which is kind of a bummer because she did die in real life. And it's not like they could have done anything about that, so they just killed her off on screen. It's just the Exegol fleet was just ridiculous. And the Rise of Skywalker just completely goes out of left field and just destroys any purpose of the story actually being good. Like, it just fails completely to give us something interesting. Like, and at the end they got 10,000 ships to fight on an Exegol, and it's just people with a bunch of ships. And the Rise of Skywalker is just infuriating, because it's like, oh, suddenly your grandfather is Palpatine, but I didn't tell you the first time I met you. And the thing is, I know Legends had a lot of wonky material and things that didn't make sense, like that cone-shaped ice cream cone-shaped ship, and then there was some crazy stuff like Palpatine's clone and all that. But honestly, the way they handled everything on the sequels was atrocious. They didn't know how to make Star Wars. It was just a very expensive fan film. And John Boyega, he got the worst end of the stick. Like, it's like, you have this character, you build him up to be important on the first film, and then he's a complete nobody, just screaming most of the time he is on screen. I mean, why would you do this? Why would you bring this character? And also, the thing about that Sith knife, it's completely stupid. Come on, just that Sith knife, which happens to be a lot of years old. Like, I don't remember in the film, they said thousands. And the Sith scripture, it's like, what is even going on here? And that whole thing, it just happens to completely get the shape of the Death Star, which, by the way, broke into a million pieces when it exploded. So how the hell could a Sith knife from 1,000 years ago predict the shapes to... You know, the more you think about it, the Rise of Skywalker and the Last Jedi, they just give you more and more questions that you just can't answer because it infuriates you when you're trying to think of it. And it's just unbelievable, the carelessness in which Kathleen Kennedy and the people involved in the sequels, they just didn't care about Star Wars at all. They just cared about money. And it shows because if you go to the Star Wars theme park, whatever it's called, Galaxy's Edge, I think, it's completely the sequel trilogy. They're acting like the sequel trilogy was the greatest thing to ever happen since The Godfather 2. But it's not. Star Wars sequel trilogy sucks. And in my own headcanon, they don't count as being Star Wars. No. In fact, I have erased them completely from the canon, from what I accept as canon. In fact, I take the shows like The Mandalorian and the Book of Boba Fett, which have been great, and the Book of Boba Fett second episode was just pure incredible things. Like, it was unbelievable. And then there's the film Solo. While not being a masterpiece, it was enjoyable. And then there's Rogue One, which was very good. I would have recommended shortening a bit the number of the casts, but it was still a great film. And the Clone Wars, both the TV show and the movie. I guess my biggest gripe with the sequel trilogy is that the carelessness in which they didn't respect the legacy of Star Wars just to make some money. And they succeeded. That's the biggest problem, that they succeeded making money out of Star Wars because it's Star Wars. It's one of the biggest franchises in history. Like, what the thing is about Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel, and even the DC films, even if they are a mess, they still make money because of the name brand recognition. So they just don't care. Disney does not care at all for the product. And that's what makes me even angrier. And it's like, they're asking me if you ask me if I have something positive to say about the sequel trilogy, I could probably say just 3 or 4 things. Like, some ships I actually like the, I think it's called I don't even remember what's called, the First Order Star Destroyer. I really like that ship. It looks really cool. And there's the Mon Calamari ships. They look fine always. But, man, they really messed up Star Wars with the sequels. And the thing is, I have to rate the three films. I have to say which one was best, which one was middle, and which one was the worst, with the golden, silver, and bronze ADG symbol. And I have to do it, even though I could probably put these all in the trash. But I'm gonna do it anyway. So, golden symbol, it's gonna be for the Force Awakens. Even if it's a blatant ripoff of Episode 4. I would rather watch Turkish Star Wars instead of the sequels. Then for the silver badge, I will give it to The Last Jedi, because I actually enjoyed The Last Jedi more than I did The Rise of Skywalker. And looking back at it, like, in the cinema, I close my mind and I just enjoy the film. But afterwards, I'm thinking about it and I'm like, man, this movie really had some problems. It's like when I watched Eternals. Like, I watched Eternals and halfway through the ending, I was like, what the heck is this? So yeah, silver is for The Last Jedi. And of course, bronze goes to The Rise of Skywalker, simply because they completely butchered the story. I just don't know. I should rewrite the sequel trilogy, or try to at least. So I'm gonna probably make a video. It's gonna take me a while to make the script and the story and whatnot. So yeah, but stay tuned. I'll probably be able to make it so one day. So that was it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. This has been AG. Make sure to like the video and subscribe. And I will see you on the next one, on a video of Trilogy Time, Mass Effect 3, which I'm still uploading the thing. I recorded so many videos of that. It's just... Also, let me know which movie trilogy would you like me to review. And of course, give me themes for Adriel Talks. It's great to talk about these films. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.